Hey, welcome. So, get this. Right now, as you're just sitting there, there's this constant, super delicate balancing act happening inside your body that's literally keeping you alive. We're going to unpack this whole incredible process using a simple story about some pretty amazing unseen heroes.
I mean, really think about it for a second. How on earth does your body get all the good stuff, like nutrients and oxygen, to your brain, to the tips of your toes, and absolutely everywhere in between? It sounds like this massive, complicated operation, right? Well, the answer is way simpler and, honestly, a lot more charming than you'd probably guess. So, to really get it, let's picture your body as this huge, bustling city. And its streets, they're filled with water, carrying everything its citizens, that's your cells, need to thrive. Okay, so our story kicks off in this amazing city inside you. Like we said, the streets are your blood vessels, and they're just packed with water carrying all these vital supplies. But, managing that kind of flow, that's a really delicate and super important job.
And that massive job, it falls to two very special and very different characters. It's time to meet the stars of our show, the Pressure Pals. These two are basically the managers of the entire city's water supply.
So first up, we've got Hydro. He's the energetic one, always moving, always pushing things out. And then there's his partner, Onko. He's the total opposite. He's this calm, magnetic force, the one who pulls everything back in. Two completely different personalities with two very different but equally crucial jobs.
Now, Hydro's official job title, the sciencey name, is hydrostatic pressure. All that really means is it's the force that physically pushes water out of the blood vessels. Just think of it like the water pressure in the city's pipes, making sure water gets where it needs to go. Yep, that's all Hydro.
Onco's power, on the other hand, is called oncotic pressure, and it's basically this magnetic pull that comes from proteins in your blood. So while Hydro is busy pushing out, Onco is there to pull back in. This constant tug of war is the absolute key to keeping the whole system running smoothly.
All right, so we've met our characters. Now let's see them in action, because this is where the main event really happens. The great push and pull that keeps this entire city of you up and running.
Hydro, seriously, he never stops. He's just a whirlwind of action. He is constantly pushing water, which is loaded up with precious cargo like oxygen and food, out of the blood vessels and into all the neighborhoods, the tissues. His one goal, to reach every single last cell in the city.
You can just hear him, right? Full of energy, shouting, "Let's go, water! Let's bring food and oxygen!" He is the ultimate delivery service, making sure every neighborhood gets what it needs, and fast. But think about it. If Hydro just pushed and pushed and pushed, the city streets would totally flood. And that's exactly where Onco comes in. His calm, steady, magnetic force is absolutely essential for pulling most of that water and any waste products right back into the blood vessels. Onco is pretty much the voice of reason here. The steady hand, he's always there saying, "Hey, water, get back in here. We have to keep the body in balance." He's the one making sure the water levels on the streets stay just right.
So it's a fantastic system, but hey, nothing's perfect. Even with Onco working so hard, a little bit of water always gets left behind, kind of hiding out in the tissues between the cells. Now, if you just left it there, that could cause some really serious problems. So who cleans it up?
Well, to solve this little problem, the city calls in a specialist. It's time to bring in our third, absolutely crucial character, the tidy-up crew.
And that crew is a gentle hero named Lymphy. Now, Lymphy represents the entire lymphatic system, which is like this whole other parallel network of streets whose main job is basically sanitation and cleanup for the whole city.
Lymphy's whole deal is simple and proud. I clean everything and maintain order. And it's a good thing, too, because without Lymphy, the city would get swollen and pretty disorganized, fast.
So here's how Lymphy gets the job done. It's a simple three-step process. First, Lymphy finds any of that extra fluid that Hydro pushed out and Onco couldn't quite pull back in. Second, Lymphy collects all that leftover water. And third, that fluid gets returned safely to the bloodstream. Everything is kept perfectly balanced.
Look, this little story about Hydro, Onco, and Lymphy, it's not just some fun analogy. This is really, really important. When this delicate balance gets thrown off, say if Hydro pushes way too hard, or Onco doesn't pull enough, or maybe Lymphy just can't keep up, the city streets flood. And in our bodies, we call that flooding edema, or swelling. So understanding this whole push, pull, and cleanup system is actually fundamental to our own health. So what's the moral of the story here? It's this.
Idro's push is absolutely vital to feed and nourish your cells. Onco's pull is essential to maintain that critical fluid balance, and Lymphy's cleanup job is what prevents all that swelling and keeps the whole system healthy. It is just perfect teamwork.
Just pause for a second and appreciate that. As you're listening to this perfectly coordinated dance of pushing, pulling, and cleaning is happening trillions of times over, all throughout your body, all without you having to think about it even once. It's incredible.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it? If the Pressure Pals and the Tidy Up crew are doing all of this amazing work behind the scenes, what other tiny, unsung heroes are performing incredible feats inside you this very second, just to keep your own personal city running smoothly?